Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for a post-match reaction. The first post-match reaction of the new season as Celtic continued a good start to pre-season with a 4-0 win over Newcastle today at Celtic Park. I'm joined by Arthur to go over everything. A good homecoming for Eddie Howe or eventual?
Yeah, well, I don't think he'll be in a rush to come back after what we've just done.
No.
But all I'll say is, and I need to say this, and this is a bit tongue in cheek. Paul Gascoigne, Alan Shearer, your boys took one hell of a beating.
Aye.
So,
No, but I thought it was like good display. You were at the game, I wasn't. I watched it on the TV, but I thought it was a pretty decent performance. Obviously, the caveat is it is pre-season. I go with the thing. I don't get too downbeat. I don't get too. But at the end of the day, it was a strong Newcastle side. I thought they'd put a decent side. Obviously, they didn't have players like Alexander Isak, but they still had your Spen Botmans, players like that who are worth
Abby
60, 70
Shah,
million quid. So it was a kind of strong side. Then they brought the kind of cavalry on in the second half as well with Anthony Gordon and stuff like that. And see, to be honest with Celtic, they might be behind in their pre-season. Newcastle went with a few weeks ahead, but I thought we dealt with everything that came our way pretty well. Our team was as follows. Give me 2 minutes, I'll get it up. 2 minutes. Here we go. We started with Casher Schmeichel and goal, back for a Ralston, Murray, Trusty, Inamura, Callum McGregor, Luke McKibben, Arlie Engels, Yang, Maeda, and Kenny. A decent side. There was a few in there that I didn't expect to
I'll
probably
be
play.
honest, I was sitting in the car when the team was I, I said to the guy I was with, I said, "This is why I go and turn the second half." Because when I seen it, I was a bit, oh, this could get messy. But
Aye.
see, after that kind of shaky 5-10 minutes, mate, I thought we got a grip. And I thought the tactics were spot on. Tell you, no, they get tactics in pre-season friendlies, but I thought the attitude was spot on, and that's what I was looking for.
Aye, we spoke about obviously looking for a performance and looking not to get overturned or anything, because even though Alexander Isak, they still had some top players out there. They had,
Well,
Bruno Guimaraes, who was 60 odd million quid. You had Sandro Tonali, who'd cost him 70 odd million quid. You had Alanga, who they've just signed. There was players out there that could damage Celtic. I thought Celtic dealt them really well. We take the lead, Alistair, through a penalty. We started the game pretty well. I thought Newcastle did kind of come at us, but once it kind of calmed down, I think we kind of took control of it, especially the first half. And we got the lead for the penalty spot. Arnie Engels finds the opener, and then a few moments later, we probably should get 2-0 up. Johnny Kenny has a brilliant chance, and I don't really know how he's missed it, to be perfectly honest with you. But he does get a goal,
it's so
and
weird.
very, very, very fortuitous, as I'll say. I generally still don't know what Nick Pope is doing. I mean, I'll take it, but I have not got a clue what Nick Pope's even trying there.
I
But
thought Nick Pope had turned into Scott Bain when I seen
I was
that.
going to say, it was like Craig Gordon mistake in Europe or something, man. But even like Craig Gordon's mistakes weren't that bad. But no, we 2-0 up. In a half time, as I says, the whole kind of they made a lot of changes. We made changes, but we just continued again. I thought we were pretty solid from start to finish, to be honest.
I felt it was someday. I felt Rodgers got the balance right between experimental and first team players. I thought he got
Aye,
the balance right the day between, because we all know pre-season's a bit friendlies, but I'm not gonna lie. If you told me at the start of the week Josh would take 6 goals off Sport Lisbon and Newcastle, I would have said you're off your head, regardless.
aye,
And that don't want to get too carried away of that because we done it this time last year. But what it does do, it sets us up, hopefully with a couple more signings to come in, but at least, and what it does do, it shows we're sharp again, we're up for it, and bring on and try and get up to a flyer at the start of the league season.
Aye. Well, you talked here about the sharp pre-season we had last season, obviously with the Man City and the Chelsea American tour kind of thing, and that led to a good season domestically in Europe as well. So hopefully, touch wood, that's what happens this season. But I've been impressed the last two games and if I'm being honest with you, I would rather we play high caliber opposition in pre-season to actually.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
Aye, because that's where you can gauge where we actually think we are at the moment. I don't, to be honest, with pre-season, so your Queen's Parks and your Cork Cities, I don't even pay any attention to them, to be honest with you.
They're
Because
team games as I
they're
call
trying to
them.
get fitness up. It's these games maybe against, Sporting Lisbon, against Newcastle and against Ajax and against Al Ahly and maybe against whoever we get, and if we get through at the final of that tournament, whoever we get, so
I'm
it's
joking here, but we're on for a treble.
aye. No, the Celtic TV actually made that joke. That part of it's fucking shocking. But anyway, he
Who
said
was it?
Paul
Peter
Cuddity.
Ryan?
Paul Cuddity. No, Simon Dorling. So it wasn't that bad. Paul Cuddity made a joke when the Nick Pope mistake, and it was like that just goes to show there's only one Pope's invincible. I was like, oh Jesus Christ,
Oh,
man.
he never,
I was like, what the fuck? I
he
had to look
never,
what he's part
good
man,
job
and
that
then
was a friendly.
I don't know, he was going on and on. I thought he was just honestly anyway. No, but I thought these have given us a good gauge to where we are, but either it's no Newcastle at the Rivet and Best or Sporting Lisbon at the, but it's gave Celtic a gauge of where we're actually at in terms of tactically and whatever else. And I think they've been two good games. I says that. I think it's important that you try and face the highest caliber of quality that you can possibly face. I think we've probably done that. To
Do
be
you know
honest
what
with you.
it proves to me? It proves that we should be going for a Champions League qualifier because Sport Lisbon and Newcastle are going to be the type of team you're going to play down the line, hopefully.
Aye, no, definitely. I want to discuss a few players. Because there's been a few, one in particular who we've gave pelters to be honest. Thought Austin Trust today was
Yeah,
outstanding.
yeah.
And it's when we've scored 4 goals and the defender gets the man of the match, they must need to do something right. And to be fair, he did do. It was pretty solid the whole game.
I'll be honest, but the defence, Newcastle were always going to create chances. But however, I'll be honest, I thought we actually pressed the life out of him. And
Then when we had to defend, like the start of the second half for the third goal, we had to defend a bit, and then we countered really well.
yeah,
Maeda plays that ball, and Yang finishes it.
so
Um,
if Norwich want Young, we'll have our 9 million back.
um,
Oh, that's a
but
joke.
no, I thought there was a few players. I'll tell you who I have been really impressed with, and people are saying, "Oh, it's just pre-season. You need to, take it with a pinch of salt." Well, he's played against two really. Like he was up against Alanga, who's a tricky winger on the second half today. I thought Anamura was yet again has shown good signs that there could be a really good player there if he can
Well,
work on a few things.
that's isn't a pop at Scottish football. If you can if you can do okay against Sporting Lisbon and Newcastle, you should
But that's the
do
only
Scottish
caveat
football.
I'm going to say though. It seems like that on paper, but you remember Scottish football's physical as fuck. So
Aye,
it's
definitely.
going to be interesting to see if he handles that. And if he can handle that, then I'd be going, do you know what? Maybe he is player at left back that we could use. To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just think, if there's a player there that seems to be able to be fitting in that position, then I think there's other positions that we need to be looking to fill before talking about a backup left back. But I've been really impressed with him the last 2 games. I thought against Cork City we came in, he impressed me again. And I think overall he's no showed many negatives, and there probably will be negatives or
Look,
rough parts of his game. I understand that, but at the moment he's aggression really well. He's composed on the ball.
he's
He's not
actually
erratic.
decent there. He's decent in there.
We've gave Liam Scales a chance for 2 years, so why not? I don't really see why we
That's
shouldn't be trying.
thinking you in the fourth goal.
No, I just looking and go. I think you've gave Liam Scales a chance for 2-3 years, so why not give an Amura a chance to prove himself? I just look at it and go at that. Maybe there is a player in there. I don't know. Maybe it could get found out domestically. Time will only tell that. But even if he did get found out domestically, that's why the club are there to try and train him and stuff. We know we've not got a perfect player, but there's
And not
a
only that, Josh, he only paid 200 grand for him, but you can definitely see why the club paid that money. You definitely can. There's something there. The credentials are there.
Mm-hmm.
The raw talent's there.
No, there is talent there. We've looked at players. We've had players like players like Luis Palma. Talents. I don't even say talents. I think it's rotten, to be honest. But anyway, but I was going to say the talent was there with Palma, so just scratch my point because he's absolutely rotten, to be honest. But my point is, we see.
Put talent gets you so far. You've got to do the application.
But that's what I was going to say. We've seen.
It doesn't have that.
But you need obviously grit, and he seems to have good grit and good determination. I think he's probably want to come over here and try and prove a point. And he's not. A lot of players in pre-season have done themselves no harm, and trying to stake a claim to stay with the first 11. Look at Johnny Kennedy today. He's not done himself any harm. We spoke other day about who maybe a potential free strikers are going to be. He's not doing himself any harm for being that third choice striker, and at the moment he is the third choice striker for me.
Did Osman come on?
I can't actually remember. I don't think so.
No, I don't think he did.
So
that tells me he might be the one that goes on loan.
I think Celtic will bring in another centre forward who will be here. So you're looking at somebody else, Ida, and probably that third spot that's up. I know we'll go into Yamada in a minute because obviously it was confirmed this morning. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but the striker's really confusing me.
All I was going to say there, Josh, was remember last year we complained about not having enough strikers. If it went out of form, you're not going to have that excuse. So hopefully, you should be able to maybe play 2 or 3 players after the Champions League game. I think that's what the manager wants. Clearly, he doesn't want to be using the same players going to the well all the time, because if you want me to be honest, that's what cost us a treble at the end of the day, I think.
Probably. I think also cost us European progression, I think. If you want to be honest, I think if we have a centre forward, I think you've got a much better chance of beating Bayern Munich.
Especially that Bayern Munich.
Exactly. I don't think Bayern Munich at the time were peak Bayern Munich. I still don't think Bayern Munich at the time are peak. So don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from what we've done that. But I think if we had a centre forward, I think we could have probably seen ourselves maybe at around the 16.
Up at half time. That's
and then as you said about the Scottish Cup final, you're going to potentially it has cost a jail for me personally, but it's going to be interesting. Obviously this morning, Alistair, we've seen the signing of Shin Yamada was confirmed by the club. Obviously, we've known that this signing was going to come. Rodgers basically told us about it a few days ago after the Sporting Lisbon game. Rodgers again after the game has also said that he's hoping to get bodies in. I've heard this a lot of times now, but
Well,
it feels like
he must be pretty sure we're going to get the bodies in, Joe.
Mhm.
Because, but then again, he said that in January, and then where was the
Aye.
striker, for example, and or the left back or centre half. But I do think we'll get bodies in, mate. But it's not a question of bodies. It's about, without
It's
sounding like
quality.
Rodgers, it's about the quality.
It's about the quality, and these last two performances show that there's just a few positions that were short in, and we need to just maybe reinforce, because there's a good a good team there. Hatati looks really sharp. He's been looking really
Yeah,
sharp in pre-season. Nigrin, when he's come on, has been looking proper. Tierney today I thought was really good. Probably should be going away with 2 assists personally. I only got one, but
yeah.
it's just good to see somebody that actually can cross a ball from the left hand side.
Yeah, and I think that'll help the team create more chances. Tell you the truth, it's just a case of taking them.
Aye. And that seems to be maybe, I'm not trying to nitpick wee problems, but that seems maybe the only issue. I know we've scored 6 goals in the last 2 games, and it's because really stupid, but there was points in that first half. We could have been about 4-0 up.
I mean, you text me at half time and you said, playing great, but how good is Trusty? Playing great, but we could be 4 or 5 up.
And we probably should have been. And then to be honest, I think even Rodgers has reiterated that they need to just maybe it's just. I think that'll come with games, more ruthlessness. But as you were saying last season, towards the end, there was too many times we're missing big chances and it was costing us games. Scottish Cup final, look, Maida's the chance in the last
Yeah,
10 minutes.
I think, Josh, if you play that Scottish Cup final 99 times out of 100, you win it. I do.
Aye,
Not
if you're
taking
clinical
away
with your
from
chances,
but I just think that. I do think
aye.
that.
If you're clinical with your chances, but that's what I'm trying to say. I think a few times towards the end of last season, I look at the Maida chance at Ibrox as well. He probably we should be winning that game. So I think that's what Celtic need to really focus on towards the end of this window and just trying to just being a bit more
I think
clinical.
I think Rodgers has looked at it, Josh. And this is an estimated guess. I think he's looked at it and thought, if we had more firepower last year, we won the treble. And
Aye,
he obviously said that's not going to happen again. Hence the reason he's kind of gutted the you have only got 1 out of 3 that's going to start the season. That's probably Maeda.
aye.
Well,
But no,
he's got his way.
but hopefully, as we're saying, hopefully signings are in the door soon, obviously.
I don't
And
want
obviously,
one. I want signings, mate.
exactly, and hopefully they're attacking reinforcements because that's who we need. But no, I thought it was a good exercise today. A pretty solid performance. Obviously, it's pre-season really, but I thought it's been 2 really good exercises. Obviously, we play Ajax on Thursday in the Como Cup.
As it Thursday, I was going to ask you when it was.
Thursday at I think the kick-off is. To finish off, Alistair, I'm just going to ask you, who's your man of the match if you could pick one?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't think we had a bad player today. I just thought the biggest surprise for me was Trusty.
I thought he was solid.
Yeah, very solid. But I've always said this, Josh. Trusty's good against technical players. It's the big bruisers
Aye,
in our league he's no used to.
exactly. So I think
He's a good
if
player there.
Trusty can get used to that, I think there's definitely a good player, because he has got good qualities. We saw that in the Champions League last year. So
I
if he can
love
get,
the one kicked off the line. I'll be
aye,
honest.
so there's really good qualities, and if he can get, a bit more physical and no, I what I see is a bit, to be honest, I feel sometimes in the Scottish they're a bit of a shite bag, to be honest, but
See, to be fair, the Scottish League, for all its faults, does take a bit of getting used to.
aye, so hopefully this season we see the best of him.
Up against.
I think that's what I'm saying as well. I think that's why we need to invest in the centre half area anyway. I think because if you've got somebody breathing in your neck, you're going to need to play your best every week. I don't know. I think Trusty had that last week.
Gales trusted Murray, or another.
Aye,
because he's going to start.
Realistically, Trusty only had really Scales breathing down his neck last season, and Scales isn't good enough. But it was a good exercise. And obviously on to Thursday. But I'm going to wrap it up there for today's video. As I said, we'll be back if anything breaks, hopefully next week, and if we're not, we'll be back.
Did that for the last 2 weeks, mate. So
well, hopefully, a man can dream. But anyway, we'll wrap up there, and we'll speak to you later. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail.